magazines. Would the parents please go to the mall office?
I want you to have that highlighter, and then I want you to think about this Florentine plum also. As the dog. Honey, that's what's going to set your eyes off.
This is the way we live now. Nice even temperature, no rain, no snow, no loud noises, music is playing. Everything's perfect in the malls. Even if you're one of the few people who've never been inside a shopping mall, you can't help knowing they're here. 25 years ago, they weren't here. Today, they're everywhere. What used to be farms or woods or country crossroads have become malls. They ring every city in the country in great concentric circles. If you want to find America today, this is where you have to look. Naturally, there is an international council of shopping centers. We thought we might find out about malls by going to their convention in Miami Beach.
There's no business like mall business, like no business I know. Everything about it is appealing. Everything the owners will allow. Nowhere can you get that happy feeling with merchants feeling that extra power.
We were entertained by some of the gimmicks that mall owners use to dazzle the customers, but we decided that if we really were going to understand this great American success story, we'd better find one mall and camp there.
Let's go on with the show.
We found it in a suburb of Kansas City, on the Kansas side of the Missouri River, in the community of Overland Park. This is how it used to look around Overland Park, Kansas. The rural life was satisfying enough, but some of the people who lived here wanted something else. They started speaking of growth, development, progress. And 7 years ago, a part of Kansas that looked like this was transformed into this. It's called Oak Park Mall. And it's an awfully good place to start if you want to see what this country is becoming. What did we give up to get this roof over our heads? Are we happy among the potted plants and muzak? What does it mean when a community becomes a mall? Mall, 1.2 million square feet, 134 stores, known in the trade as a super regional. The muzak system is automatic. The air temperature is 68 degrees winter, 72 degrees summer. The mall is open for business 11 hours a day. Cleaning and maintenance crews work 17 hours a day.
Okay, tell Ray to go ahead and turn back on. Full in the vast. This particular piece of ground is 110 acres, and probably 60 of that is parking, and roughly 35 to 40 acres of this building is roofed. That's a heck of a lot of ground to have on one roof. Oak Park Mall does roughly twice what downtown Kansas City does retailing dollars a year. Probably the population of an average-sized town in Kansas. And when you start thinking of sheer size, sheer numbers, it's incredible.
There's nothing elected by the people in a mall. The mall actually is more like a business enterprise run by private individuals who are, I guess, capitalists, who live in a capitalistic economy and hope that it stays that way. I think that's what makes America great, is the fact that we've had thousands, hundreds of thousands of individual entrepreneurs who started out small and who have grown large. That's the nice thing about this country.
call Overland Park Fire Department and explain to them that we had some sort of cooking fire, a minor cooking fire in a cookie factory, and that if they get an alarm, I don't know if the smoke alarms in the fan rooms will alert them or not, but I'm sure we're going to get, the fan rooms are going to kick over to a smoke mode because there's so much smoke in here. Copy?
I've got to look out for the interests of the mall. A lot of people go to malls to keep away from certain racial backgrounds and that sort of thing. Here, I think that they come to basically keep away from the problems of an urban mall.
We want them coming back. The important thing is to get them here instead of once a week, twice or 3 times a week. We hope they consider this to be part of their entertainment.
We have a lady who her daughter lost her retainer in the trash can. Is there any way she can get the trash can and go through it?
Yeah, have page 418.
Might be close to some like French fry cups. Thank you.
But it's nice to know that your wife and kids can come out to Oak Park Mall and not worry about running across a wino out back here by the compactor.
Return to box photo.
But it's getting harder and harder for shoppers to stay away from Oak Park Mall, to tell you the truth, because downtown Overland Park, the community's original shopping center, 2 miles from the mall, isn't what it used to be. Some merchants, such as Lee Bowman, are just trying to hang on until retirement.
Yes, it's going to the malls. Young people want to shop where young people go. The only people basically that will come to this type of an area are referrals and people who have been accustomed to this type of a shopping center. They don't like the malls.
I think they miss that calling them by their first name thing as they come through the door.
You know, the women like to go to shopping centers, and it's good parking. We still clipping that close on top, Jim?
Yeah, please, if you will, Ray.
You can't stop progress.
The hairstyling salon at Oak Park Mall is a long way from Red's Barbershop. The main difference is that the haircuts here don't come with as much conversation.
I'm a redneck, and as I've told my good customers, as long as I could make it as a barber, I will be their barber, and I'm not a hairstylist. Not that I knock them people, because they do a great job, I know. But I just never did care to be one.
And it just doesn't get it anymore to sit around, you know, and talk. There's got to be something else going on.
79.
Boys will meet girls at the shopping center, and that has taken the place of the corner drugstore. And most of these, 95 to 99% of the youngsters behave themselves and are very cooperative.
Like here, everything's brand new and fresh and bright, and there it's kind of drab and dirty and old. And it's nice to come somewhere like this that's pleasant.
We're getting caught up in the convenience thing, that we're not spending enough time, that we're losing a lot that the generations before us did. I mean, there's something to walking in the rain and going shopping outside. There's some kind of flair to that. I don't know. It seems like we're losing a lot of the culture of the previous pastimes.
On our way, Chicago, Minneapolis, Des Moines, Santa Fe.
And I feel that they're safe. I mean, I can come here and really have a good time with my friends and know that, you know, that somebody's not going to come up to me and try to attack me.
Ralph Walters comes to Oak Park Mall at least once a week for lunch and a walk around. Before he retired, Ralph Walters was a farmer. His pastures and cornfields, the land that he farmed, is the land they paved to build Oak Park Mall.
You see that brick wall with them trees? Here's a row of house. See, that was made before they tore the house down. No, you had to sell it. $10 an acre taxes. And you can get $10,000, $15,000 an acre. You got to go.
You got to go. Money, money, money. Progress, progress. I'm glad I don't have to milk the old cows anymore.
Many of the people who live near Oak Park Mall came here recently, hoping for a fresh start in life. Only 100 years ago, you could have stood where the shopping mall is now and watched, alongside the natives, as Americans from back east came this way, heading out, moving up, starting over. Overland Park was one of the first communities in the country designed from the beginning to be a suburb of a large city. It was started by William B. Strang, Jr., a New York railroad man. Strang didn't care much for city life, and he had money to invest. So in 1904, he bought a piece of land in Kansas, built a house on it, and then built a commuter railroad line into Kansas City. In a prospectus, he wrote, "Make your home of the city without being in it." The suburb worked for 30 years. Then the government started building highways west from Kansas City. The new suburbanites all bought cars.
I just love this mall.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
Very interesting. Very open.
Oak Park Mall is one of the nicer areas in the Johnson County area to shop, and they have a variety of stores to shop in. It was designed right. One of my problems of being 6'4.5" and not having enough space to get around in, and the mall is quite expansive, but it's an easy place to shop, and it's an easy place to get to.
When you look around you and the leaves are always green and business is always good, it's easy to feel that the system is working.
When I walk through a shopping center, because of not being able to see, I'm always reminded of a circus. I'm always reminded, primarily because of the sounds. You have the simultaneous occurrence of so many different sounds that, and as you walk by these different shops, you don't have barkers, but it's almost like hearing barkers. The smells of candy, of fast food, of people.
Country Club Plaza was built in the 1920s. Architects and planners still come to Kansas City to see it, in the belief that this, the first suburban shopping center, is still somehow the best. We wondered why this didn't become the model for all the shopping centers that were to follow. Developers found that shopping centers really didn't have to be aesthetically pleasing, all marble and glass. They could be built out of preformed concrete slabs, as long as the inside was safe and warm and dry. You might assume that everybody you see in a shopping mall wants to be here. Actually, we found there are people who don't like malls. They are people who remember the friendly main streets of small towns. But the mall is here now. There's nothing else close by. And the people who don't like malls shop here too. Pam and Melissa attend school across the street from Oak Park Mall, and they come to the mall almost every day.
To be with you in the daytime.
Oak Park is where they work, play, shop, hang out. Pam and Melissa call themselves mall rats.
97 should change. Thank you. Have a nice day.
It feels like it's partially my mall, you know, because I work up here and I know at least one person who works in every store. It makes me feel like I'm part of the place, you know. I'm part of Oak Park Mall because I'm here so much and I work here and I know so many people. I spend more time at the mall than I do at my house.
I feel pretty secure up here. I don't think anything would ever happen to me. My mom thinks that bad things go on up here and that stuff like that, but there's really nothing wrong with it.
Some wheels, because a little bit older than her, they can drive, and this takes them a little bit further away. Of course, I think that's what attracts her to them, possibly, is the idea that they're mobile. It's scary out there, and
Parents have memories of communities as they were before the shopping malls. Children do not.